U.S. President Donald Trump on April 8th announced a record $1 trillion defense budget. Speaking from the Oval Office alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Trump said the upcoming budget would be in the vicinity of $1 trillion.
We also essentially approved a budget which is in the facility, you'll like to hear this, of $1 trillion, $1 trillion. And nobody's seen anything like it. We have to build our military, and we're very cost conscious, but the military is something that we have to build, and we have to be strong because you got a lot of bad forces out there now. So we're going to be approving a budget, and I'm proud to say, actually, the biggest one we've ever done for the military.
The U.S. president further added that the country is preparing for a very powerful military and that the things are under order now.
We are getting a very, very powerful military. We have things under order now, the likes of which we've never had before. We've never had the kind of aircraft, the kind of missiles, anything that we have ordered. And it's in many ways too bad that we have to do it, because hopefully we're not going to have to use it. But the military is very, very powerful, and it's going to remain that way.
Trump, however, did not specify if the $1 trillion will be spent solely for the Pentagon or for the overall national defense budget, which includes other agencies, according to news reports. National defense spending was already projected to exceed $900 billion in the upcoming budget. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, in a post on ABC's, said Trump is rebuilding our military and that it is happening fast. Hegseth revealed the first $1 trillion in the defense budget is coming soon and that they intend to spend every taxpayer dollar wisely on lethality and readiness. Multiple reports suggest that the number would be a significant increase from the 8-year, $92 billion funding that the Congress allocated for national defense programs this year, which includes the Pentagon, nuclear weapons development, and security programs. At other agencies, it also comes as the armed services seek to cut 8% of their individual budgets and reinvest the money in modernization efforts. Additionally, Hegseth is also planning to slash tens of thousands of department civilian employees across the globe as the Pentagon starts work on what is expected to include consolidation of domestic and overseas bases. Meanwhile, Republicans on Capitol Hill are separately planning an interim defense budget increase of up to $150 billion as part of their party line efforts to boost military and border spending and slash taxes. The U.S. lawmakers, however, haven't settled on a final figure, while the Senate has pushed for $150 billion. House Republicans have proposed $100 billion for the defense spending. The Defense Department, as news reports suggest, could likely spend the additional money over a decade. On April 7, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth landed in Panama for his inaugural official visit amid ongoing questions regarding President Donald Trump's repeated promises to reclaim the Panama Canal. During his trip, Hegseth would reportedly meet Panamanian officials, as well as defense leaders from other Central American nations who are attending a security conference in Panama City. According to news reports, the U.S. Defense Secretary also plans to attend the Central American Security Conference in Panama and is expected to meet President José Raúl Mulino on April 8th. Speaking about Hegseth's visit to Panama, Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell said Hegseth's trip will drive ongoing efforts to strengthen our partnerships with Panama and other Central American nations towards our shared vision for a peaceful and secure Western Hemisphere. Earlier this year, the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, took his first trip to Panama. According to a State Department spokesperson, Rubio had told Molino that Trump viewed the current position of influence and control of the Chinese Communist Party over the Panama Canal as a violation of the canal's neutrality treaty. Molino and other Panamanian officials have reiterated the canal is fully controlled by the Independent Panama Canal Authority (PCA), and that the country's sovereign control was not up for debate. The Panama government on April 7 said it would file a criminal complaint against local executives of a Hong Kong company. C.K. Hutchison, which runs the ports of either end of its famous canal. The latest development comes as the country falls under intense U.S. pressure over alleged Chinese influence in the waterway. At a news conference on Monday, Panama's comptroller announced the criminal complaints and added that it was the result of a 3-month forensic audit. The announcement came just hours before Haig's death was due to arrive in the country. Auditor Anil Bolo Flores alleged that the contract held by C.K. Hutchison's subsidiary was abusive and it had resulted from a renegotiation that was highly unfavorable to the Panamanian state, causing it to lose $1.3 billion in revenue. Flores said his team would present criminal complaints in the coming days against company and government officials involved in the renegotiation. They would have to explain to the Panamanian people and the prosecutors why such magnanimity, why such benevolence in a contract that has been abusive, to say the least. As per news reports, the BlackRock-led investor group last month offered to buy C.K. Hutchison's ports division in a whopping deal worth $22.8 billion. The Chinese authorities said they are reviewing the transaction with Hutchison, which holds the concession, casting doubt on whether the bid will be succeeded. However, BlackRock chair Larry Fink on April 7 said he was optimistic the deal would get done despite Chinese objections. I'm pretty confident the Panamanian ports only represent 4 to 5% of the total valuation of the whole enterprise. U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly threatened to retake control of the Panama Canal, the 110-year-old crossing that handles about 5% of global maritime trade, alleging that a concession for 2 ports held by Hong Kong-based conglomerate C.K. Hutchison posed a national security risk. Washington relinquished control of the waterway to Panama on December 31, 1999, under a treaty signed in 1977 by President Jimmy Carter. Trump has claimed that Carter foolishly gave the canal away and has hence been making efforts to get it back.